Good day, everyone. I am Khimbyrlee Camingue.
I'm Jennifer Subing Zapanta,
I'm Sarah Jane Comeso Mahilum.
and we're going to discuss about telecommunication services.
Before I discuss about telecommunication services, let me first define what is telecommunications. Telecommunications is the exchange of information over significant distances by electronic means. The simplest form of telecommunications takes place between two stations. However, it is common for multiple transmitting and receiving stations to exchange data among themselves. Such an arrangement is called telecommunications network. The Internet is the largest example. Telecommunication services is a service provided by a telecommunications provider or a specified set of user information transfer capabilities provided to a group of users by a telecommunication system. A telecommunication service user is responsible for the information content of the message. The telecommunication service provider has the responsibility for the acceptance, transmission, and delivery of the message. Some examples of telecommunication services are voice telephone services, packet switch data transmission and circuit switch data transmission services, telex services, telegraph services, fax mail services, privately circuit services, and others which are mobile phone services and paging. Some of the telecommunication companies in the Philippines are Philippine Airlines, East West Bank, Ayala Malls, Shangri-La Mactan, Resort and Spa Cebu, ABS-CBN News Channel, Smart Communications, and Convergence Corporations. Lease line. A lease line is a service contract between a provider and a customer, whereby the provider agrees to deliver a symmetric telecommunications line connecting two or more locations in exchange for a monthly rent. A lease line is simply a direct connection between you and your counterparty via a telecommunication circuit. The connection is available all day, every day at a fixed cost, depending on the size of the circuit. These lines are appealing because they are private, physical connections between partners. Leased lines are used by businesses that needs high-speed, reliable internet access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, giving greater peace of mind. They offer dedicated, uncontended bandwidth, ensuring that the maximum line speed is always available when required. In this diagram, we can see a leased line configuration in which A has a physical connection to B and C and D, and A cannot connect to any other party. Line switching, which is also called as circuit switching, is a method of transmitting information, which are voice, audio, or other stream data, between endpoints within telecommunication system. In circuit switch networks, network resources are static, set in Cooper, if you will, from the sender to the receiver before the start of the transfer, thus creating a circuit. The resources remain dedicated to the circuit during the entire transfer, and the entire message follows the same path. When establishing a call, a set of resources is allocated for this call. These resources can be used by any other calls. Circuit switching is ideal when data must be transmitted quickly, must arrive in sequencing order, and at a constant arrival rate. Therefore, when transmitting real-time data, such as audio and video, circuit switching networks will be used. In this diagram, we can see a circuit switching example, in which you will pick up a land phone and dial your friend. At that point, the telecommunication provider creates a dedicated circuit for that session and connects you to your friend's house. No matter how long you keep the line open with your friend, the circuit will remain, and packets flowing between both telephones will always follow the same path. Packet switching service. Packet switching is the approach used by some computer network protocols to deliver data across a local or long-distance connection. Example of packet switching protocols are frame relay, IP, and X.25. In packet switching, different messages can use the same network resources within the same period. Since network resources are not dedicated to a certain session, the protocol avoids from the waste of resources when no data is transmitted in the session. Packet switching is more efficient and robust for data that is burst in its nature and can withstand delays in transmission, such as emails and web pages. In this diagram, we can see a packet switching example. You switch on your PC and connect to your favorite site that offers a number of applications you can download from. So you begin downloading one application at the same time. Each packet has to find its own route to the destination, example your computer. Each packet finds its way using the information it carries, such as the source and destination IP address. If network congestion occurs, the routers responsible for routing packet between networks will automatically select different paths to ensure data is transferred as required. Integrated Service Digital Network or ISDN. It is the original high-speed internet service. It sparked the high-speed internet development between service providers during the 1990s and of course revolutionized internet use. Much like its predecessors, the dial-up connection service, ISDN utilizes a phone line. In fact, it set the standard for telephone data service. With business competition increasing and more small companies which have several subordinate offices allocated in the different areas demand for internet connection within the whole company with a high speed but a low cost. ISDN is the most suitable solution for this kind of company. In this figure, using ISDN, every subordinate companies or offices apply for an 64 over 128 kbps ISDN BRI telephone lines and install an ISDN router. On the other side, the headquarters side can also use several ISDN BRI telephone lines or an ISDN PRI line telephone and set up an ISDN router or a connecting hub. Then we can construct a company LAN which cross different areas. In this system, a subordinate company or office can access the main LAN which allocate in the headquarters at 64 over 128 kbps bandwidth. What is more, can also interconnect with other subordinate companies' LAN with the same speed. Virtual Private Network, or VPN, is a private network that is configured within a public network in order to take advantage of the economies of scale and management facilities of large networks. VPN are widely used by enterprises to create wide area networks that span large geographic areas to provide side-to-side connection to branch offices and to allow mobile users to dial up their VPN LANs. This is a virtual network constructed by connecting computers together over the internet and encrypting their communications so that other people can't understand the communication. The benefit is that people can connect to the LAN from anywhere on the internet. This allows user connectivity and lower phone bills for traveling salesperson. They just sign up with the national ISP and call local email pops from their hotels as they travel the country and easily come back to their company's secure local network. I have here the top 5 VPN sites used by the users. The first one is the Hide My Ass, in which the company has a brand and is hard worthy of any introduction. Some of its fruitful features are: it secures a quick VPN selection server, it secures IP bind and IP address, it has a simple VPN connection build up, and has a reliable and fast connection high speed. It is also high streaming quality. The second one is the VPN software, the pure VPN software, in which it has a GUI that is further complemented with the dashboard. It has an updated connectivity status, and it masks the real IP address. It also shows the total duration for which you have logged on into the current VPN session. The third one is a strong VPN, in which it has been in the arena quite long time and has a vibrant force in the industry deal day. Some of its features are: it facilitates to check the speed right within the dialer, it is easy to change the servers, and which has an additional advantage because the dialer chooses the best server for you automatically. The fourth one is the IB VPN, which is Internet Browsing VPN, that brings forth all-in-one VPN client that provides multiple facilities in a single go. Some of its features are: It supports for multiple connections such as OpenVPN, PPTP, or L2TP. It has opportunity to customize the settings as for your preferences on a single place. It is available with VPN packages with no extra cost, and it is hassle-free to plug and play setup. The fifth one is the private internet access, in which it provides built-in OpenVPN software that keeps your browsing session extremely safe and secure. The company makes it foremost necessity to let you browse anonymously with the help of a hidden VPN. You can also enable Wi-Fi security within its services, and it can connect the internet within no time, and it is improving its strength thereby assuming enriched customer base.
What is frame relay? Frame relay is a protocol standard for LAN internet working which provide a fast and efficient method of transmitting information from a user device to LAN bridges and routers. Advantages of a frame relay. Frame relay offers an attractive alternative to both dedicated lines and X.25 networks for connecting LANs to bridges and routers. The success of frame relay protocol is based on the following two underlying factors. First, it is because virtual circuits consume bandwidth only when the transport data. Many virtual circuits can exist simultaneously across a given transmission line. In addition, each device can use more of the bandwidth as necessary and thus operate at higher speeds. Next is the improved reliability of communication lines and increased error handling and sophistication at the end station allows the frame relay protocol to discard erroneous frames and thus this is the frame relay structure. The frame relay structure is based on the LAPD protocol. In the frame relay structure, the frame header is altered slightly to contain connection identifier data link connection identifier or DLCI and in place of the normal address and control fields. This frame relay header is 2 bytes in length and has the following format. The DLCI. A field represents the address of the frame and corresponds to a PVC. Next is the CR. Designates whether the frame is a command or response. Next is the extended address field. It signifies up to the additional bytes in the frame relay header, thus greatly expanding the normal possible addresses. Next is the FECN, or the Forward Implicit Congestion Notification. Next is the BECN, or the Backward Implicit Congestion Notification. Lastly is the DE, or the Discard Eligibility. What is cell relay? Cell relay is a network technology for data transmission that uses small data packets of the fixed size called cells. Cells are basic units of data and are widely used in common networks for communication. Just like frames, which are data packets of variable size, cells travel from one computer to another over a network. Asynchronous transfer mode, or the ATM, is particularly popular form of cell relay and it's based on the cell units. How cell relay works. Cell relay system breaks variable length user packets into group of fixed length cells that add addressing and verification information. Frame length is fixed in networking hardware based on the time delay and user's packets length consideration. One user data message may be segmented over many cells. Cell relay system may also carry bitstream-based data such as PDH traffic by breaking into streams of cells with a lightweight synchronization and a clock recovery stream. Thus, next is Cell relay is an implementation of fast packet switching technology that is used in connecting oriented broadband, integrated services, digital networks or BISDN, and it's better known supporting technology ATM and connectionless IEE 802.6 switch multi-megabyte data service. At any time, there is information to be transmitted. The switch basically sends the data units. Connection don't have to be negotiated like circuit switching. Channels don't have to be allocated because channels do not exist in ATM. And on condition that there is an adequate amount of bandwidth to maintain, there can be identified indefinite transmission over the same facilities. Cell relay utilize data cells of persistent size. Frames are comparable to data packets. However, they contrast from cells in that they fluctuate in size based on the circumstances. This type of technology is not secure for the reasons that its procedure do not support error handling or data recovery. All delicate and significant transmission may perhaps be transported faster via fixed size cells, which are simpler to transmit compared to variable size frames or packets. What is ATM? Asynchronous transfer mode. The asynchronous transfer mode, the label identifies the terminal generating the bits delivered in the time slot. A label is included in the header part of the packet. The header may be serve other functions such as classifying the information payload or type and priority, and possible error check sums for protecting the header from the transmission error. How asynchronous or how ATM works. The synchronous in ATM means ATM device do not send and receive information at fixed speeds or using a time, but instead negotiate transmission speed based on the hardware and information flow reliability. The transfer mode in ATM refers to the fixed size cell structure used for packaging information. This cell-based transmission is contrast to a typical area network or LAN. Variable length packet mechanism, which means that ATM connections are predictable and can be managed so that no single data or connection can monopolize the transmission path. ATM technology originated in broadband or ISDN technology and works primarily at layer 2 of the Open System Interconnection or OSI reference model. ATM connects devices over a WAN using virtual channel or VCS and virtual path or VPS. Virtual channel consists of one or more physical ATM lengths connected in a series of transmitting data between remote stations. A VC exists only while data is being transmitted on it, and all cells in the given ATM transmission follow the same VC to ensure the reliable data transmission. A virtual path is a collection of VCS having the same source and destination points that can be used to pull traffic being transmitted to a given destination. ATM is a connection-oriented technology that requires the establishment of a specific network path between 2 points before data can be transported between them. Typically, a subscriber would list a T1 or T3 connected to their customer's persistent equipment or the CPE to the telecommunication carriers or ATM network. But frame relay or SONET can also be used to connect a site to an ATM network. The kind of CPE needed varies with the access method employed. For example, Channel Service Unit or the CSU for T1 line. Frame relay access device FRAD or router from frame relay, and so on. Large corporate networks using an ATM backbone might use a switch-to-switch connection to carrier's network instead of CPE.
Satellite communication services. A communication satellite or ComSat is an artificial satellite sent to space for the purpose of telecommunications. For fixed point-to-point services, it provides a microwave radio relay technology complementary to that of communication cables. They are also used for mobile applications such as communications to ships, vehicles, planes, and handheld terminals, and for TV and radio broadcasting. There are three types of communication services that satellites provide, namely telecommunication, broadcasting, and data communications. This is an example of a satellite communication service topology. The first and historically most important application for communication satellite was in intercontinental long-distance telephony. The fixed public switch telephone network relays telephone calls from landline telephones to an Earth station, where they are then transmitted to a geostationary satellite. The downlink follows an analogous path improvements in submarine communication cables through the use of fiber optics. Fiber optics, it is a flexible, transparent fiber made of glass, silica, or plastic, slightly thicker than a human hair. It functions as a waveguide or light pipe to transmit light between the two ends of the fiber. Mobile communication services or personal communication services. It is a generation of wireless phone technology that combines a range of features and services surpassing those available in analog and digital cellular phone systems, providing a user with an all-in-one wireless phone, paging, messaging, and data service. This is an example of a mobile communication service gateway topology. At most basic level, it describes a set of wireless communications capabilities that allow some combination of terminal mobility, personal mobility, and service profile management. More specifically, it refers to any several types of wireless voice and wireless data communication system, typically incorporating digital technology, providing services similar to advanced cellular mobile or paging services, email, text chat, fax, and instant messaging. In addition, it can also be used to provide other wireless communication services, including services that allow people to place and receive communications while away from their home or office, as well as wireless communications to homes, office, buildings, and other fixed locations. International communication services. A global consortium is the premium provider for marketing communication services specializing in multilingual and multicultural projects. Marketing communication and localization services involve customization of documents, marketing collaterals like brochures, website, and multimedia presentations for any country, especially those countries which have language and cultural barriers. The picture shows the communication between different countries from a different part of the world. Value-added network is a hosted service offering that acts as an intermediary between business partners sharing standards-based or proprietary data via shared business processes. This is an example of a value-added network connection. At one extreme, a WAN hosts only horizontal business-to-business application integration services, hosting general-purpose integration services for any process or industry. At the other extreme, a WAN also hosts process-specific or industry-specific integration. For example, supply chain ordering or data synchronization services. A WAN not only transports, receives, stores, and forwards messages, but also adds audit information to them and modifies the data in the process of automatic error detection and correction or conversion between communications protocols. It is a communication network that provides services beyond normal transmission, such as automatic error detection and correction, protocol conversion, and message storing and forwarding. Telnet and TimeNet are examples of value-added network. This is an illustration of the general path of EDI, or electronic data interchange. It is a transaction that allows us to visualize how we can track the flow of EDI transmission. VANs traditionally transmitted data formatted as electronic data interchange, but increasingly they also transmit data formatted as XML or in more specific binary formats. It usually serves a given vertical or industry and provide value-added network services such as data transmission between formats EDI to XML and EDI to EDI. Quality of service. It is a broad collection of networking technologies and techniques. It refers to several related aspects of telephony and computer networks that allow the transport of traffic with special requirements. It is a data network solution that prioritizes network traffic to ensure that key traffic has precedence over less important traffic during times of congestion. This is an example of a setup of a network that has a 6-layer QoS scheme. The layers are often known as quality of service classes, and they are designed to cater for the wide variety of traffic types found on networks such as N3, where they're used as follows. EF, or Voice over IP telephony. It is the highest priority class that provides a small amount of dedicated bandwidth with an assured performance for telephony. The second is the AF1, or bulk data transfer, used for applications that mainly move large volumes of data or data that is not real-time critical. Examples include PACS, NHS mail, overnight server backups to data centers. The third one is the AF2, or the community applications. It is used within a local or regional NHS natural community for transactional or interactive applications. Examples include locally hosted GP systems, SBS finance system or shared business services, IPsec or the N3 VPN, local site to local site. The fourth one is the AF3 national applications. It is used for strategically significant transactional or interactive applications. Examples are NCRS, or the National Care Record Service, to and from the BT and ASP data center, including but not limited to SSB, or Spine Security Broker, AIA, or Identity Agent, PCIS, or Personal Spine Information Service, EBS, or Electronic Booking Service, or aka Choose and Book, or LSP, or CRS, or Care Record Service applications offered by each LSP, including but not limited to PAS, GPEPR, Clinical Systems, Emergency Bundles, RIC, HTTPs, ADHOC image requests, ECR, or Electronic Staff Record, and remotely hosted GP systems. Fifth one is the AF4, or Media Streaming Multimedia plus Voice over IP Signaling. It is used for video conferencing traffic. And lastly, the DE, or the default, all other traffic not assigned to a quality of service layer. It is the reminder of traffic not assigned to any quality of service class and thus the lowest priority traffic, or the Internet Gateway traffic is carried as DE across the N3 network. Digital Subscriber Line, or DSL, is a family of technologies that provide internet access, transmitting digital data over the wires of local telephone networks. This is an example of a digital subscriber line. To better understand how this type of internet access works, this process has broken down into several easy-to-understand steps. Step 1. Your phone line is split into two different types of frequencies. This is necessary so that your phone would not have to be engaged when you are using. Step 2. The line with the lower frequency range is used to handle all phone-based activities. And step 3, the line with the higher frequency range is used for handling data sent and received from your ISP. Advantages and disadvantages of DSL Internet. Even today, no internet service is truly perfect, and DSL connections are certainly not exception to the rule. Pros. First, DSL Internet service provides greater freedom compared to cable internet. With the latter, internet access will always be unavailable whenever cable TV is inaccessible as well. With DSL Internet, your phone line would still operate even if your DSL Internet is suffering from some sort of downtime. Second, DSL Internet service can be configured in a way that would provide greater security and more flexible and private options for your computer. Cons. First, is more often than not, DSL service providers require subscribers to use their own modems. Second, the greater the distance is between your location and the source of DSL internet service, the lower the quality and speed of your internet connection would be. Best effort guaranteed service is one which does not provide full reliability. It usually performs some error control and may also provide some retransmission. Examples of best effort services: link layer, or the HDLC UI frames or the Ethernet, network layer or the IP datagrams, transport layer or the UDP and UDP Lite. The current internet shows best effort service. Efficient delivery of streaming media over the internet presents many challenges. The current internet only provides best effort service, and it does not guarantee or provision quality of services or the quality of service for multimedia applications. Therefore, temporarily changing network conditions, examples are the bandwidth variations, network-induced delay, and etc., may adversely impact quality of content to deliver. On the other hand, the second complication is due to that the features which describe the variation in content of the multimedia are generally imprecise. This research aims to develop techniques in managing network resources to increase statistical multiplexing gain in multicasting of FGS, or the fine granular scalable video with high quality delivery. These techniques include effective router bandwidth with buffer management, content adaptation to available resources, and proxy server design. The three levels of end-to-end quality of service are best effort service, differentiated service, and guaranteed service. Service levels refer to the actual end-to-end quality of service capabilities, meaning the capability of the network to deliver service needed by the specific network traffic from end to end or edge to edge. The services differ in their level of quality of service strictness, which describes how tightly the service can be bound by specific bandwidth, delay, jitter, and loss of characteristics. The three basic levels of end-to-end quality of service can be provided across a heterogeneous network as shown in the figure. The three levels of end-to-end quality of service are best effort service, differentiated service, and guaranteed service. The best effort service, also known as lack of quality of service. Best effort service is basic connectivity with no guarantees. This is best characterized by first in, first out queues, which have no differentiation between flows. Second is the differentiated service, also called as the soft quality of service. Some traffic is treated better than the rest: faster handling, more average bandwidth, and lower average loss rate. This is statistical preference, not a hard and fast guarantee. This is provided by classification of traffic and the use of quality of service tools such as PQ, CQ, WFQ, and WRED. And the last one is the guaranteed service, also called as the hard quality of service. This is an absolute reservation of network resources for specific traffic. This is provided through the Quality of Service Tool, RSVP, and CBWF queue.